However, there's other communities, other counties even, that do use an ethics board, and that would use a politically appointed committee that would have varying roles. And I say this because I think it's something that needs to be flagged for the committee as you're looking at this. It's certainly an option. I see a number of flaws with it. First of all, once you get to the point of, if we isolate all of the ethics codes around the state, they utilize an ethics board. There's no consistency in how that board is used. They have an ethics board. Sometimes they are filled with county supervisors. Sometimes there's no elected officials whatsoever on the board, but instead are appointed by, in some cases, solely the county executive. In some cases, solely the county executive with the board's confirmation vote. It really runs the gamut. So there's no real consistency or growing trend in support of how to even assemble one of these boards. And then the role of the board is also scattershot as well. Sometimes these boards serve a role of being kind of an initial probable cause finder. If there is an ethics complaint, well, then the board will review it and determine if there's probable cause. And if it is, it goes to the DA's office. And if it doesn't, then it just goes away. But I have to tell you, in communities that we've seen this deployed, where there is a board, particularly a board that's appointed by elected officials, it becomes hyper-political. We then see political prosecutions of things where the ethics board is attempted to be used one direction or another in an effort to try to exploit a perceived ethics violation for political purposes. What happens in that scenario is usually one of two things. Either it becomes hyper-political and everybody and their uncle on both sides is facing ethics complaints and being hauled in front of the ethics board, which isn't a great outcome. Or the ethics board just shuts down. It becomes so hyper-political that nobody actually cares what the ethics board has to say about anything, because everybody just knows that this is just the latest witch hunt against supervisor so-and-so. And everybody just checks out, including the public and the elected officials, and ethics boards sit and they don't get quorums of meetings, or people on those boards don't show up.